Listen, when people doubt you, they think they're protecting reality. They think they're being realistic, keeping your expectations in check, saving you from disappointment. They think their doubt is some kind of wisdom they're sharing with you, like they're doing you a favor by pointing out all the reasons you can't make it. But what they don't understand is that doubt doesn't stop a person who's truly committed. Doubt fuels them, shapes them, transforms them. A doubter believes you're sitting there second-guessing yourself, looking for validation, trying to prove them wrong through their approval. But the real truth is this: the more they doubt you, the more they teach you how to believe in yourself, how to trust your own vision, how to stop seeking permission from people who don't see what you see. And that is the biggest gift a doubter can give you. People think doubting you makes them look smart, like they've seen something you haven't. They think being skeptical makes them appear grounded. But that whole mindset backfires because a dreamer doesn't crumble when others question their path. They don't abandon their goals for people who can't even dream their own dreams. What they do instead is shift. That shift is small at first. They stop sharing their plans with negative people. They stop asking for opinions from those who only see obstacles. They stop explaining their vision to minds that aren't ready to understand it. Then the shift gets bigger. They start pouring that energy back into their craft, into their growth, into their purpose. They start remembering why they started in the first place. They start feeling that fire again. They start realizing they don't need everyone's belief, just their own commitment. And a doubter will always feel that shift. Always. People pretend they don't care when you start moving differently, but they feel it in their core when someone they doubted stops asking for their approval. They might not say it, but they notice when you stop sharing updates. They notice when you stop defending your dreams. They notice when your confidence grows despite their negativity. And that's when they start wondering why. That's when they start watching. That's when they start realizing their doubt didn't crush you, it freed you. You teach people the power of your vision, not by arguing with their skepticism, but by building in silence. You stop fighting for belief from people who choose to see limits. You stop justifying your path to those who refuse to understand it. You stop trying to convince someone who isn't trying to support you. That's the lesson. They expect you to quit, to give up, to prove them right, to fade away. But when you don't, when you keep building, that's when they feel the weight of their words. A person starts respecting your journey the moment they realize you respect it enough to continue despite their doubt. A doubter wants you to question your capability, but instead you make them question their perspective. You make them sit with the reality that they might be watching someone achieve what they said was impossible. And trust me, that hits them harder than anything. People don't change their minds because you explain your dream 50 times. People change their minds because they see the results. And the result of doubting someone with real vision, true dedication, and relentless work ethic is watching them succeed without your support. Watching them rise, watching them grow, watching the version of them that stopped needing your validation. And here's what doubters don't understand. Winners don't quit publicly first. Winners detach mentally. Winners distance themselves quietly. You'll still be around them, sitting in the same room, but your mind is already building empires. You'll still respond to their comments, but the weight won't be there anymore. You'll still hear their opinions, but the impact will be gone. That mental distance is what really shocks a doubter because they know they can't demand your attention back. They can't force you to care what they think anymore. They can't force you to unlearn the strength their doubt built in you. And when a dreamer mentally detaches from the doubters, that's the moment they truly show the world what belief looks like. You don't have to argue or defend to prove your worth. You don't have to beg for their support. You don't have to explain anything. You just have to stop giving energy to people who drain it. When you focus forward, they see everything clearly. They see how focused your silence is. They see how much potential they dismissed. They see how much space their doubt created for you to become unstoppable. They see the difference between someone they doubted and someone who proved them wrong. And then they'll come back. They always do. They'll send the "I always knew you could do it" message. They'll call like they supported you all along. They'll try to reconnect because suddenly they realize the failure they predicted never happened. But here's the lesson. You don't rush to celebrate with them. You don't forget who believed when it was hard. You stay grounded. You stay humble. You remember how it felt when they doubted you and how powerful you became because of it. That's the price they pay. Not anger, not resentment, but distance. Real distance, earned respect, selective energy. They have to understand that doubt has consequences, that the words they spoke mattered, that discouragement isn't neutral, it's a choice. And you chose to rise anyway. A person learns your strength when they see you're not afraid to stand alone, when they see you're willing to move forward without their approval, when they see you're no longer affected by their negativity, when they realize you're not waiting for permission anymore, not hesitating, not shrinking for comfort. That independence, that determination, that growth, that's what they respect. That's what they regret doubting. That's what teaches them the true cost of underestimating you. They thought doubting you would keep you small, but instead it made you stronger. Dreamers have something doubters underestimate: mental resilience. A dreamer can transform criticism into motivation, rejection into fuel, doubt into determination. A dreamer can rebuild their confidence from the inside out. And when they do, they become the kind of person a doubter wishes they had supported. So if they doubt you, don't crumble, don't quit, don't worry. Instead, work harder, focus deeper, stand taller. Because the higher you climb, the smaller their doubt becomes. And the more you achieve, the more they see exactly what they missed. All because they chose to doubt you. When people doubt you, they think they're being practical. They think questioning your abilities is some kind of reality check. In their mind, they're protecting you from failure, saving you from embarrassment, keeping you from wasting your time. But what they don't realize is that dreamers don't operate on doubt. A dreamer doesn't shrink because someone questions them. They expand. They don't second guess because of skepticism. They strategize. They don't respond with fear when doubted. They respond with focus. And the moment you start responding differently, everything shifts. See, a doubter is counting on your reaction. They expect you to defend yourself constantly, explaining why your dream is valid. They expect you to overthink every criticism they give. They expect you to stay small, to play it safe, to accept their limitations as your own. But when you don't do any of that, when you refuse to play the role they assigned you, that's when they start to feel uncomfortable. That's when they start questioning themselves. That's when they realize doubt doesn't stop dreamers. Doubt creates warriors. The real way you teach people the cost of doubting you is through your self-belief. A person who believes in themselves is someone others can't shake. When you stop seeking validation, when you stop justifying your path, when you stop arguing with people who have already decided to be negative, you're reclaiming your power without ever raising your voice. You're not teaching them through bitterness or spite. You're teaching them through elevation. That's the lesson they never see coming. A doubter doesn't respect what's always seeking approval. They respect what's consistent but not desperate. They respect what's ambitious but not arrogant. They respect what's determined but not blind. And the moment they take your dream for granted, that's the moment you show them what persistence looks like. You're not proving anything to them. You're honoring your purpose, and purpose is something people don't understand until they see it manifest. Dreamers are emotional, but they're also strategic. You can feel when energy shifts around you. You can feel when support fades. You can feel when people stop believing, and instead of begging for their faith or trying to win back their approval, the strongest thing you can do is channel that energy into your work. If they pull back their support, you push forward with double intensity, not because you're playing games, but because you refuse to depend on people who don't depend on you. And when you stop seeking external validation, they start realizing just how much belief you actually had all along. A doubter learns your value when they see you succeeding without them. They learn your strength when they no longer have access to discourage it. Doubting you might give them a temporary sense of superiority, but watching you win gives them a permanent lesson. People take dreams lightly until they see someone they doubted actually achieve them. They thought their skepticism made them look wise. But when you prove them wrong, suddenly they see the difference. A dreamer's silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's focus. It's preparation. It's unstoppable. And it's the one thing a doubter can't control. And here's the thing about dreamers. You don't give up instantly. You listen. You consider feedback. You try to bring people along with your vision. You try to make them understand. That's what makes you genuine. That's what makes you rare. But once you hit that mental breakthrough, the point where you're tired of explaining, tired of defending, tired of feeling misunderstood, that's when everything changes. You don't argue. You don't complain. You simply build. And that is when a doubter finally understands what questioning you cost them. Because when a dreamer stops explaining, they're not frustrated. They're focused. And there is nothing more powerful than a focused mind that's been underestimated. They're calm. They're certain. They're driven. They don't debate. They don't defend. They don't react. They simply create. And that silence becomes the teacher nobody asked for, but everyone needed. Doubters don't feel the loss immediately. Their ego protects them at first. They tell themselves, you'll fail anyway. You'll come back. You'll realize we were right. But then time passes, weeks turn into months, and they notice something has changed. You're not asking for their opinion anymore. You're not updating them on your progress. You're not waiting for their approval. You're not affected by their negativity. And that's when reality sets in, because now they realize the one thing they were sure of, your failure isn't happening. Now they feel what you felt. Now they check your progress, hoping to see you quit. Now they replay their words, trying to justify their doubt. Now they start feeling the weight of every moment they discouraged you, every dream they dismissed, every time they made you question your path. That's the price they pay. Not your anger, but your success. Dreamers are not common. Your vision, your dedication, your persistence, your resilience, that's not something they can find everywhere. And the moment they realize how rare that is, the moment they notice you're thriving now, that you're growing now, that you're unstoppable now, that's when they understand they doubted the wrong person. And here's something doubters never think about. When a dreamer grows after being doubted, they don't grow in the same circle. They grow beyond it. They outgrow the negativity. They outgrow the skepticism. They outgrow the limited thinking. They outgrow the doubt. And once they outgrow a doubter, that doubter can never access the version of them they underestimated. So teaching them the cost of doubting you isn't about revenge. It's about evolution. It's about growth. It's about realizing you deserve people who believe in your vision. It's about giving yourself the support you were seeking from them. It's about standing strong, moving forward, and letting them watch the consequences of their negativity. Because the truth is simple. A person who doubts someone with a real dream isn't smart. They're short-sighted. And the only way they will understand that is when they see you living the life they said was impossible. When people doubt you, they don't realize what kind of fire they're igniting. They think they're teaching you limits, teaching you to be realistic, teaching you that dreams don't always come true. But what they're really doing is teaching you how to win without them. Every dismissed idea, every skeptical comment, every moment they underestimate your potential becomes one more reason you push harder. They don't understand that dreamers don't break when doubted. They adapt, they evolve, they become relentless. You don't prove them right. You prove yourself unstoppable. You don't lose confidence. You find conviction. That's the part they never see coming. A doubter thinks they're protecting you by being negative. But all they're doing is showing you exactly who won't be there when you succeed. You start noticing the things you once ignored, how much you believed, how clear your vision was, how strong your why has always been. Doubt becomes the mirror that shows you your own power. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. People often believe dreamers will quit eventually. But the truth is, dreamers only quit when they stop believing in themselves, not when others stop believing in them. The moment a dreamer realizes they're fighting for approval instead of progress, they shift their entire focus. They don't make announcements. They don't cause drama. They quietly decide, my dream is bigger than their doubt. And once they make that internal decision, they begin to build in ways doubters can't stop. You teach them the cost of doubting you through your results. Not words, not arguments. Results. Because while they're doubting you, thinking you'll eventually give up, you're discovering capabilities they never thought you had. You start winning again, creating again, feeling alive again. You reconnect with your purpose, the one that existed before their negativity entered your life. And the moment you start reclaiming your vision is the moment they start losing any influence they thought they had. The irony is, doubters rarely feel regret at the beginning. They're comfortable, they're confident in their skepticism, they're convinced you'll prove them right eventually. But time has a way of revealing truth when your actions change and your results speak, when you stop doing the things they expected. They feel the shift they created. They feel the distance. They feel the growth. They feel the success they said wouldn't happen. That success becomes the price. Doubters don't realize how much they rely on your failure until you succeed. When you stop asking for their validation, stop caring about their opinions, stop letting their negativity affect your momentum, they start noticing the absence of their influence. They'll wonder why their words don't shake you anymore, why you don't react to their skepticism, why you sound certain instead of uncertain. That certainty intimidates them more than any anger ever could, because anger means they still matter to you. Certainty means you've moved beyond them. That's what teaches them the real cost of doubting you, not your frustration, your achievement. When you finally reach that level of success where their doubt no longer touches your confidence, they'll feel what they tried to make you feel. They'll feel uncertain about their judgment. They'll feel insecure about their perspective. They'll feel the regret they once tried to save you from. And now they'll be the ones wishing they had supported someone they underestimated. By the time they realize your vision was real, your dedication was genuine, your dream was achievable, your spirit was unbreakable, you've already learned how to succeed without their belief. That's the moment they understand what doubting you truly cost them. Not just being wrong, but missing the journey of someone who refused to quit. Dreamers grow through doubt. They strengthen through doubt. They decide through doubt. And when the decision is made to keep going no matter what, nothing can reverse it. That's why doubting a dreamer doesn't stop them. It sharpens them. It molds them into someone so focused, so determined, so self-assured that they no longer need the approval that once mattered. When people doubt you, let them. Let them feel that regret later when they see your success. Let them see that the door to discouragement is closed now. Let them learn that your dream was a commitment, not a conversation. Let them understand you were not waiting for permission. You were preparing for victory. And by the time they notice, the lesson will already be learned. When people doubt you, they think they're being honest. They think they're showing realism. They think questioning your path makes them look experienced, knowledgeable, or protective. But what they don't understand is that dreamers aren't discouraged by doubt. They're defined by it. Every time they doubt you, you learn something crucial about them and something even more powerful about yourself. You learn that not everyone can see what you see. You learn that you've been believing more than they've been supporting. And you learn that doubt is not truth, wisdom, or care. It's a reflection of their limits, not yours. And once you recognize that, your whole perspective shifts. Dreamers don't just walk away from doubt overnight. They process, they feel deeply, they consider the words carefully. And when the pattern becomes clear, the repeated negativity, the constant skepticism, the empty encouragement, Something inside a dreamer starts to break free and rebuild simultaneously. They start to separate, not because they're bitter, but because they're protecting their vision. They start guarding their dreams because the people they shared them with stopped treating them like they mattered. And once a dreamer gets to that point, they're not the same anymore. Doubting you doesn't make them right. It makes you aware. You become aware of how much you were carrying alone. You become aware of how often you defended your vision to people who weren't really listening. You become aware of how one-sided the belief really was. That awareness is the first step toward independence. And the more aware you become, the less interested you are in convincing people to believe. You stop explaining. You stop trying to make them understand. You stop breaking your own momentum just to bring them along. You start prioritizing your purpose again. A doubter thinks questioning you will make you reconsider, but it actually makes you more certain. You begin to see that dreams shouldn't require constant defense. Vision shouldn't be dimmed for comfort. Progress shouldn't be slowed by skepticism. And a real supporter shouldn't make you feel crazy for believing. This realization doesn't hit you all at once. It comes gradually, quietly, and then suddenly it's crystal clear you don't need their permission. And that's when the transformation accelerates. You start building without announcing it. You start progressing without updating them. You stop feeding doubt because it's not feeding your dream anymore. You start investing in your craft, your mind, your goals, your growth. You reclaim the energy you wasted trying to convince the unconvincible. You begin to shine again, not for validation, but for fulfillment. That light is what they notice first. That shift in your energy is what surprises them. Because eventually, the same people who doubted you will feel the absence of your need for their approval. They will feel the void your doubt-seeking used to fill. They will feel the confidence, the progress, the results, the momentum. They will feel the distance created by their own negativity. It always hits doubters later, especially when they believed you'd never actually do it. They thought you'd always second guess. They thought you'd always need validation. They thought your dream would fade before their eyes. But when they realize you're still building, that's when they panic. Now they want the credit they never gave. Now they want the connection they never maintained. Now they want the access they pushed away. But the problem is your mindset isn't in the same place anymore. Their doubt changed you. Their skepticism strengthened you. Their negativity taught you exactly what progress feels like without permission. And the truth is, it feels liberating. It feels authentic. It feels better than the constant justification they demanded. By the time they come back around, you've already elevated beyond their reach. You've already healed from the discouragement they caused. You've already developed strength they can't diminish, and that's the price they pay for doubting you. They lose the version of you who cared what they thought. They lose access to a dreamer who once valued their opinion. They lose the privilege of being part of a journey they refuse to support. A dreamer's heart is powerful, but it isn't foolish. Once they learn who believes and who just watches, they don't forget. They move differently. They share differently. They protect differently, and they no longer see the doubter as someone worth convincing. It's not bitterness. It's not pride. It's wisdom. So when people doubt you, let them. Their skepticism is not your ceiling. It is their limitation. And the person you become after they doubt you is the person they'll wish they had believed in. Not because you need their regret, but because you showed them exactly what faith in yourself can build.